That's the way the weather looked out here today. Current footage. Soap Opera Digest just reported that our next lovely guest is just too hot to handle. TH. From The Young and the Restless, Eileen Davidson. Hi, Eileen.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
What is that? Why did they give you that title?
God, I don't know. Good copy.
How long have you been with the show?
8 months now.
Is this your first soap opera?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you got all this instant stardom over it?
Oh, not exactly that. It's a little fanfare. A little bit. It's nice.
But you're not only very popular here, but we understand in Canada the show airs. And you are maybe even a bigger star in Canada.
Yeah. The show is #1 in Canada, which gives me a little bit of an edge. And we have a great following there.
So aren't you going to be taking a trip soon with several Canadian dignitaries or something? Some people were telling
Something like
to
that.
Rio?
Rio de Janeiro.
What's that all about?
That is a bunch of people have gotten together who sponsor the telethons there, and I did a telethon for these people a couple months ago in Toronto, and I was selected as one of the people from Y&R, Young and Restless, to go to Rio with a bunch of other Canadian people, and we're going to be put up one of the best hotels, and I won an award and all sorts of fun things.
Terrific. Now, are you going to be working in Rio in any way, or is it?
No, not really. Kind of a cocktail party thing, little PR autograph signing, nightclub act type thing, but not much of anything.
So
it's more of a prize.
A nightclub act? You do?
Well, I use that term loosely. Mostly just talking with Vic Cummings, who's a talk show host up there.
Oh, so then what, get questions and answers from people
yeah,
there.
Maybe a little
What do fans ask you the most?
Oh, well, #1, how do you enjoy working on the show, and how do you like your character? What's happening in the storyline? Are you going to get Jill? Are you going to get Jack? Because I'm the good guy, and I kind of keep my eyes on everybody else.
You said you're going to do some singing also.
Well, a little.
A little bit. Is that something that you haven't pursued that you'd like to pursue further?
Yes.
A singing
There's many of those things I'd like to do.
Like what?
I played the piano when I was a little girl for like 8 years, and I gave it up when I was about 14 for boys. I'd like to go back to that and pursue that and the singing. And I was an art student, and I'd like to go back to painting and drawing more too.
What about the acting, other kinds of parts, maybe a movie, other TV shows?
Of course.
Yeah, all that, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So you don't want to stay in a soap opera forever. No. Do you ever look at the people that have been in the soap operas for 15, 20 years playing the same role and think, I don't want to do that?
Well, sure. But that's, their choice, that's fine.
Now, when you came into the show, your character was a major part, but unlike the other people in soap operas, don't they give you a lot of leeway yourself personally to develop the character?
Well, I walked into a situation where the actors I am now working with and was at the time used that technique, improvisational, people who can catch a ball when you toss it to them and throw it back. So it's good, it's quick, and you get spark, it's very, very new each time you work, which is great. So as a character, yes, they gave me that because I was in that situation. I had to, or I would drown if I didn't, if I wasn't able to work with them on a free level.
What about nighttime soaps? Do you watch them?
No. I really don't. I'm asleep by that time.
Do you watch the other daytime soaps?
Once in a while. It's nice to see what's going on, besides what you're doing in your soap.
Do your fans look up to your character?
Yes.
You're a model for them?
Yes, which I was surprised at that. And I can see why. Ashley is a pinnacle, so to speak. She's a good lady, strong, but she's feminine. She's not this masculine career woman. And she's not a killer, so to speak. She's a nice lady. I get a lot of mail from women who say it's nice to have somebody to look up to, who they can respect and try to emulate, which, wow.
And you're a career lady yourself, so is there a lot of Ashley in you?
Yeah,
so
sure.
When the part came about for you, you kind of figured, well, I might be playing myself a little way?
Yes and no. I mean, I think when you talk to actors, they say, well, you've got every type or part in you, you just have to bring it out. I had to bring that part of me out. I have a domestic side to me too. You bring whatever you need to the character.
How about the other cast members? If you come into a show, there you are, 8 months, and you're the star that fast.
Now? We don't like to say that like
Oh, we
that.
don't want to.
No, I don't hear anything. You know, I work all the time. We don't hear. They've been wonderful. They don't say anything. I have Soap Opera Digest lying around the hair and makeup room, and it says Eileen too hot to handle, rise in the ratings. They never give me any flack or anything, and they're easy about it. I think it's great. Thank God.
I'm always amazed by anybody I meet from the soap operas.
Yeah.
That go 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I mean, you must never have time for yourself.
There's not much of it.
Mm-mm.
But I think I'm in training for the years to come, because
What do you mean?
from what I hear, it only gets worse. I mean, the appearances and the talk shows, and it just starts going.
Well, I asked you
Until I get in the position where I can call my own shots.
Were you ever a soap fan before?
No.
Before this?
A little bit when I was 17, I think, just for a couple months or something. But no, I never was into that.
I think it's great that you did it all in 8 months there, because you had a career before that. I mean, you did a couple films and things too.
Yeah, and I had my reservations into going into soap, but it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. For my training as an actress, it's great. And I get a little nettled. It's like having a scarlet letter that we do soaps, you know, when we work so hard.
Well, it seems to me that over the past at least 5 years anyway, that it's turned
well,
around
it's much
quite
better.
a bit.
Oh, it's much better.
And there was a time when
Definitely.
they looked at soap operas like, you know, it didn't even count.
It's very true. But there's still a little bit of that. There is. There's still a residue of prejudice against, like, you're less than a flea or a roach or something. A little bit. A little snobbery.
Where does that come from? When you run into that resentment from people, is it people that are on, say, the nighttime shows or the network brass?
A little bit. I mean, it's not obvious. It's more of a subtle little you know, and you just sense it. You sense it. But I mean, obviously, you know, we shoot a show a day, and we're here. We're not car scenes and people getting shot. We're acting, and that's the major benefit.
I wonder also, how do you keep it? You know, that's the oldest question in the world about how you keep the TV person separate from the real life person, especially when you're doing it so many hours a day.
I'll tell you, especially when I first started, I started talking like the writers, because they say things, they repeat a lot of the same cliche phrases for some reason, because they write all the time, you know. And suddenly I was saying these things and going, wait, is that me? These dumb things. So that haunts you.
You start talking like a soap opera.
Yes, it's true. And suddenly you're very, you know, you're melodramatic at this point. But it's interesting going through that. And watching new people on the show go through it, too, and realizing what I was doing there when I first started.
That's great. We're
Several
going to take a break.
initiation.
We're
Okay.
going to take a break and come back. Can you stay with us for a little bit?
Maybe.
Okay, please stay with us. Eileen Davidson from Young and Restless, and Louise Williams is with us when we come back.